Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good afternoon. Let me introduce myself. My name is Heratul Hasanah. So in this video, I will explain about the development of English learning materials, which here I already have a books that will support the explanation in the video this time. So in the first book or ebook is about eight principle of teaching and learning English by Willy Renandia. This ebook outline eight core research-based principles that ESL or EFL teacher can use to inform the design and delivery of their English lessons. If these principles are followed, there is a high probability that we can have our students acquire, expand and maintain their proficiency in the target language. If it is related to the books I have chosen, namely student book and teacher books for junior high school 8th grade. In these two books, and the title books is When English Rings a Bell. Has indeed almost reached the research of the 8 principles that were in the first book. These two books explains how some of the 8 principles for teaching and learning English are in practice, but there are some practice that are lacking in reality. Well, we will try to discuss these principles one by one, and I will also show some things that can clarify this principle that I will associate or I will connect with these books, namely student books and teacher books. So the first principle is the primacy of input. In this case, it means that the teacher will become a model in language learning. The teacher must be able to provide example and input that educate. This is contained in the teacher books, namely about the teacher expressions, about greetings and acts about student and others. Then in the student books, it has been shown how we answer the teacher question, how to ask question, and so on, have been stated in both books. The second principles from ebook Willis is meaning-focused output is important. In the output, what is means or that's mean by the principles of the Willy or Renandia ebook is whether there is any progress made after learning this language. If we relate it to the teacher's books and the 8th grade student book, in the learning framework, it has focused on output, but also focused on the process carried out by students. So not everything is focused on student development, but also focus on how the student can develop meaning that most of what the teacher assess is the process, such as the learning process in class. In outset, the classroom can be seen in the assessment table, such as aspect of skill assessment of various skills, such as writing skill, speaking skill, and reading skills. Aspect of attitude, aspect of knowledge, which have been explained in detail. You can see in the picture. Okay, the next third is to not overteach grammar. For the third principle of Willis' ebook, The point is to just teach the grammar needed to students at that time. So this means teaching grammars according to what they need. Don't teach too much grammar that students don't need. Just teach the basic. If it is being practice and practice, often it will make it easier for this student to understand the next level of grammar. Sometimes there are teachers who teach too much grammar but really practice it, so the things that are tough will be difficult to remember by students. Now we see from the teacher's book and teacher and student books for grade age of this junior high school. Indeed, in the student books, they have done a lot conversation practice is like and easy to remember. If it is often practice can be seen in the practice. All I have taken from the student books as an example. So I see that the teacher's book and this student book is in accordance with the principles of do not overteach grammar. Okay, next, the fourth is focus on high frequency word. This fourth principle means that number of vocabulary or word that are often used in conversations, both formal and non-formal conversation. Now we link again to the two teachers' books and eight grade student books. In the student books, there are indeed many conversation practicing, which is often used in formal and non-formal conversation. So, in my opinion, this book or this fourth principle has been carried out in this eighth grade student books and teachers book. Okay, next, this fifth principle is teach word in meaningful chunks. In these fifth principles, that meaning is that we as teachers must teach more words or vocabulary that have meaningful meanings, even though the word is only chunks of sentence, but the form of must be meaningful and understandable, even if only in chunks. In the teacher's books and student books, I saw that from the small conversation in the student books, there are many meaningful chunks that in the teacher's book also had various kind of chunks, which means the which mean to start an interaction or conversation in the classroom. This meaningful thoughts is intended to enable students to speak more fluently. 6. Uh, Focus on fluency development. If seen the teacher's book and student books, it is true that the assessment process has implemented fluency assessment, and for the development of fluency, it may be seen from student books that focus a lot on conversation. In my opinion, it can help the development of student fluency. Okay. Next, seven principle is motivation is key to language learning. Motivation is always the beginning of encouragement to be passionate about learning anything, including learning English. I think this motivation depends on the teachers, whether the teacher is able to guide and provide useful motivation or not. Mm, we can motivate a student by always teaching not to be shy when in conversation. Uh, English in class because it is undeniable that students have different characters, so how to motivate them will be different like that. Okay. The last principle is amount and intensity of instruction go hand in hand. This is the last principle of Willis' ebook. In the last section of these teachers, in the preparation of the English language teaching curriculum, the curriculum has determined the time and how much material students have to study for one semester. Since from student books and teacher books, this is indeed good, but it seems that it is coming back again to the teacher in a well-regulated curriculum, how a teacher must make every learning effective and according to the curriculum. But sometimes the curriculum has made difficult to adjust because each school or many schools is different and the advantages and the advantages are also different implementing the curriculum that is made. And sometimes indeed almost English teaching curriculum increase the numbers of interaction while the instructional intensity is less. Okay, I think that's all for my explanation about two books, that student books and teacher books, based on 8 principles of teaching and learning English. Okay, see you guys. Keep healthy and stay at home. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.